back. Wow. Holiday week. I was on a cruise. Pretty fun. It was what an experience. Um, so hope you guys had a good Christmas and Hanukkah and Frank Kwanzaa.
Right.
Um, uh, Tomorrow is a new year, and we want to talk a little bit about what we're planning for next year for the Messy Middle and then get into sort of the top themes. This is our recap episode of what we felt this year and our favorite quote. So it'll be a quick one because everybody wants to go party and um, it's fun. Last year, Frank, we were in Iceland. Remember that? That was a lot of fun.
Love
Uh,
fireworks.
a lot of fireworks. A lot of fireworks. Didn't have any fermented whale, but we did fermented shark and whale, but we did have a lot of fireworks. So for next year, let's do the recap of our favorite stuff, and then we'll talk about what we're planning for next year.
Mm-hmm.
My top theme for this year was actually a very recent theme, and I don't know if that's because I forget and I'm getting old, but mostly it's because I felt we had the strongest and deepest debate on this, which was working hard over the holidays,
Mm-hmm.
taking time off, and how if you're working against someone who's also an A player, um, that if the one A player works 100 hours and the other one works 120 hours, which is impossible to do in 1 week. But that was Frank's example. The one who worked 120 hours will absolutely succeed. So I think that was my favorite theme because it made me feel the most depressed after doing it, but also made me think the most about my life um, and maybe where I fell short. And
Okay.
my favorite quote was a Goethe quote, which was "Be bold and unseen forces will come to your aid," or be bold and magical forces will come to your aid.
Is that a quote that we shared in like our episode? Like, okay, yeah, because I
Yes,
don't. Yeah.
it's a favorite quote from our episode. That would be a favorite
Oh,
theme and a top theme and a favorite quote from our episode. Um,
okay.
so yeah. So Frank, what's one of your favorite themes?
I think I did like when I think Dennis was talking about his way of selecting startup ideas. And the thing I like from it, because I can see that as something useful, something that happens to me too, is the idea that the right idea is the idea that you can't kill.
Mm-hmm.
And I like this
Mm-hmm.
process of trying to kill idea, and I think I kind of like that. It's like you're not doing an idea because you're necessarily passionate about it, all of that, just because you just can't get rid of it. I thought that offered a new angle I never heard of before, and I thought that was pretty cool. um in terms of quote, I still like to me this quote about a French poet that says, act like a primitive, think like a strategist. I always think it really encompasses this idea of thinking and action.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are all thinking, some people are very eager to just act. And I think this balance, trying to find the right way to mix both together is really what can make you, a decent entrepreneur.
Like that.
Um,
Teddy.
my favorite was the episode was when we talked about the principles for living a successful and fulfilling life is the title. Looking at it right now, it's episode 30, step 38. And when we were talking about it, I realized that I have to be more. I mean, the reason why this is my favorite episode is it opened my eyes because I have not really worked on sort of creating a strategy around my principles and writing them down or being more aware and um, what's the word there? Like, yeah, I guess unaware, being aware of those principles, and then just being intentional, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So that's the word. So that's my favorite episode. And as far as quotes, I'm not quite sure, but I really what stuck with me is this, and I've been talking about this, and then sort of Frank add up to that. When you need to do something, you always optimize for less regrets. But I like the flip on it, which is you always optimize for a good story. So that's been really with me since we talked about it. Not really a quote, but a framing or a way of living I guess. Yeah,
I have to say that's like the one thing. If Frank were to disappear from this earth at any point in time soon, that's what I would remember. Is what he told me is always make sure you end up with a good story. It doesn't actually matter how much money you make, all the change you've
exactly.
done.
Yeah.
As long as you have a cool story, like the
Yeah.
guy who founded General Motors and Cadillac and a few car companies ended up in a bowling alley at the end, and it's like this crazy story. How did you go
Steve
from
Black story was good. He was saying.
yeah?
No,
So
no,
it's
it's the story thing to me came out of my interest for history, and I was always obsessed about what life is about. And if you look at history, it's about good stories. That's the only thing that survives.
yep.
Like no one remember who was the richest guy in Egypt, 5,000 years ago.
No. No, but they remember the guy who buried himself, who was like 15 years old, who was buried alive, King Tutankhamun, right? So not buried
Yeah.
alive, he died, but still, like,
Who buried everybody with him alive, and
yeah, exactly, exactly, yeah,
it's a
yeah.
good story.
Let's, don't worry, it'll be great. We'll remember you.
It was worth it. I don't know if he celebrates, but yeah,
Don't
good.
worry, it'll be fantastic. Um, yeah, Frank, you're very special to us.
Oh,
So
you
You
guys
if we
are.
do.
ever,
No, again, I appreciate it. Like it's, we all have like good days, we all have bad days, but the consistency that we've done is good, and I always deliver on my promise, even though you guys think I don't. But I started to write the article, like, and I will finish it before, the December 31st bell
Oh,
about
that's
I guess the patterns of the messy middle that we've seen.
okay,
So I'll share
okay,
that.
excited for that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well, you only have one day till tomorrow.
yeah.
yeah. I've got notes. I've got everything ready. I'm just
So
typing
you got a
it.
few hours to get it done. So hopefully by
It's almost
tonight when
Well,
we
we
post
it's
got
it,
almost
our intro video this year, right? It happened
it's
this
that was what I
almost
year.
was going
done.
to say.
Yeah.
We
It's
got
almost
that.
done. I'll publish it soon.
No, you always deliver, Frank, and
I know.
time and
Yes.
time again. So we said we talk about what we're doing for next year. So we have some big changes for the messy middle. Um, as you know, you've all been with us this entire messy middle journey for this year. And starting last November. I mean, it's pretty amazing. We've done 50 some odd episodes, and we've been consistent. And what we've kind of learned throughout the journey is sometimes you need to change things to the modify of the changes in your life, but also uh, quality sometimes is way more important than quantity. And that's
Mhm.
kind of our big theme going into 2025, um, as we look at the messy middle. So what we'd like to do is we're going to be doing one episode a month. So that'll be 12 episodes next year. For most of these, we'll have guests. So we'd love any suggestions from our audience, and they will still continually be produced by us. Don't worry, we're not bringing in an outside producer, not yet. And our goal for those episodes are to have quality content that you just can't find anywhere else. So all 101 subscribers out there, we really appreciate you listening to us every week. Um,
Yeah, and I wanna add to that because quality was also the theme for this year. We
yes.
know we've been doing long episode. We debated about optimizing for virality, which could be like conflict, triviality. But the reason I think we did the right thing with quality is next year actually we'll be able to summarize everything using AI. It's going to be to extract a lot of knowledge. We'll be able to make a website where you'll have the messy middle
Yep.
chatbot slash agent slash knowledge base that can help you. And so because the data is out there, the debates, the things we've done is there. And so we did that intentionally. Actually, we predicted that, and so we'll be super excited to again keep focusing on the most important thing now is to build new data that don't exist out there, and that's high quality for enterprise in between.
Yes, and as we're getting out of the messy middle slowly, but what was it? Gradually, then suddenly, we
Yeah.
need to document these things, and I still want to do that with you guys. This messy middle sort of canvas and mapping out what like the different, uh, I don't know, tools or resources or places and what worked for each one of us or other guests that we're gonna have on the podcast. So provide a little bit more value than just the videos. Yeah, so I hope we'll find time to do a little bit more there.
We will. We will. Oh, it's been a pleasure this year, gentlemen. Getting to know you even more. Although I knew you pretty well before, but it's therapeutic, it's cathartic, it's meaningful, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.